had a really awesome person come in to my super investors community, and I shared the video and content live with everyone. I realized that he talked about mindset. A lot of what he talked about was mindset, and which was pretty awesome. I'm not usually the mindset guy. I've always said mindset this, mindset that. Like, I don't, it is what it is. Like, if you want to achieve your goal, all you got to do is do the tasks ahead of you, right? He made a comparison to, you have a goal and you have a ladder, and you just have to hit the next rung on the ladder to achieve your goal. And at the very beginning, my goal was simple. My goal was to be financially free. And what that meant to me was $7,500 a month, every single month, without having to worry about working for that money. So passively receiving $7,500 a month in cash flow through real estate investing. My plan at the time was 5 rental properties over 5 years. So one every single year. Essentially, I was going to house hack 5 properties for 5 years, small multifamily, and generate $1,000 to $3,000 a month per property. And that was going to average out to around $7,500 every month. And I'd be good for the rest of my life. Well, because that was my goal, but I did not stop just chasing these rungs. I didn't just like give up when I kind of achieved it. I was able to acquire way more than that. I currently own over 70 rentals worth a ton of money. And what I want to do is help other people do the very same thing. However, now that I'm in this new era, this new version of myself, I've always been someone who's helped other people on their journey. I've literally done it for free. I've done it for the entire time. As I learned something, I shared. If I learned how to identify a good market, I shared that. If I learned how to analyze deals, I shared that. If I learned whatever I was learning, I was sharing that with other people to help them on their journey. Well, now I have my super investors community, a paid community. It's a high-level mastermind for those that are already real estate investors that are looking to scale using advanced strategies. I'm talking about creatively financed deals, buying from wholesalers, raising money so you don't have to use your own money, implementing advanced management strategies, my favorite being CoLiving, all those things to help you achieve your financial freedom way even faster than I was able to. But I also provide a ton of value through my free Wealth to Real Estate School community, a little bit on YouTube, even less on Instagram. And my goal right now is to become a bigger, I hate the word influencer, but someone who is providing more value to the world out there publicly. And I can only do that. Like, I have 60 plus awesome people in super investors, around 1,200 awesome people in wealth through real estate. But the impact that I want to have is tens of thousands, millions. Like, I want to impact and help as many people as possible because I feel so fortunate for where I'm at. I do not have an easy road. That's never been my life is easy, but I've always worked very hard to achieve the things that I want. And like I said, the way that I thought about it, it was, I need to take this next step and next step and next step because of this very clear goal of what I want to accomplish. Because I was so willing to do that and did not stop my momentum, I was able to scale massively past that. But I understand there are a lot of mindset issues involved with this entire process as well. And I'm not going to be the mindset coach. That's not my thing. However, I realize now that I'm trying to help more people, my big road, like what I need to do is get good at social media. I'm comfortable talking to you guys live like this. I'm comfortable answering questions. I'm comfortable doing things live. What I'm not really comfortable doing is thinking through content ideas, pre-recording gimmicky stuff and posting it for virality. Like, none of that is in my comfort zone. I don't even consume very much social media. So then creating that type of content is just so foreign to me. However, I realized one of the biggest things holding me back right now in this journey of how can I influence and help more people is probably the same thing that's holding a lot of real estate investors back, where I was confident I was going to succeed in real estate no matter what. I don't know what it was about me. As an engineer, like, it was numbers, right? The numbers made sense. I was going to achieve this thing. It was very logical. But now that I'm trying to provide more value, share more things with people to help them on their journey, I'm realizing I'm stuck at certain levels right now, which I understand a lot of real estate investors are stuck in as well. But for me, it's for this content creation side and things like that. Fear of failure and fear of rejection. I didn't even realize this was something I was afraid of. Is that why I'm not putting myself out there more publicly? Because I'm afraid of publicly failing? I don't know. Like, I bought a ton of real estate. I've raised a bunch of money to do so. Why was I not afraid of failing in that sense? What is the fear of rejection? I've only really received really positive feedback because for years, I've just been helping people. When I post stuff, people tend to like it. When I do webinars or whatever, people tend to show up and they get a lot of value from it. And they provide me a lot of love afterwards. So what is it? I don't know, but that's probably the same thing you're going through your real estate investing journey. That's why I share this. I can't tell you right now that we are in the same page of your fear of rejection and fear of failure in real estate is the same thing as I'm dealing with in real estate. It's not. I've already overcome that level. Like, I've already achieved that level. I've already passed that rung. But right now, I'm literally dealing in parallel with the same emotions and feelings that you're going through in your real estate investing journey. Or, and when I say real estate, I'm just saying entrepreneurial journey. Whether you're buying businesses, creating a business. You're someone who's actually creating content. You're someone who's wholesaling, lending, buy and hold, bird dogging, whatever you're doing. I get it. We're literally in parallel dealing with some of the same issues. And one of the big ones is this fear of failure and fear of rejection. If you were on the live streams yesterday, I apologize for anyone who wasn't in the Zoom. You heard me just taking notes nonstop because I got so much value out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a nice YouTube video out of it and post it for anyone who wants to see that, because there was the 5 mental traps that tend to break entrepreneurs. It was so good. And I really appreciate Patrick Precourt for providing all that value to us. But one thing I want to highlight, fear of failure, fear of rejection. I've already passed that in the real estate space. Does not mean I don't have concerns and things like that in real estate, but I'm very comfortable in that area. I don't mind being uncomfortable in real estate investing. What I've realized is I am held back tremendously by my own brain, what's inside of here, not even the results or anything, just what's inside of my head in regards to fear of failure and fear of rejection when it comes to social media. It comes from things like your upbringing, school. I was a very solid student. So maybe it's like, hey, I knew if I did this thing, I could get this result. Social media, it's not really guaranteed like that. You just create it and you post it and you just see what happens. And sometimes it depends on the time you posted it and this and that. Like, and there's no real easy, can't just like, I mean, I guess you kind of study for it. I don't know. I don't know how to study for it. I lack clarity in it, how to do well there. Another thing that he really highlighted was this imposter syndrome or self-doubt. And this is once again, something in parallel with a lot of real estate investors that are starting out or scaling. So a lot of my leveling up occurred at various levels of real estate investing. And I highlighted that during yesterday's training, literally that, yes, there's like this huge, massive activation energy. You need to do a lot at the very beginning just to get over the initial hump. And for me, it was 18 months of analysis paralysis before I got over the initial hump of not just learning, but taking action. Well, there's that, but then you also can feel self-doubt and imposter syndrome when what you're doing is so important to you for a real estate investor, for tenants that you're going to bring on, the homeowners that you're hoping to save through the properties that you're buying from them, the capital partners that you're bringing into your deals, or for me, the people that I'm trying to educate and help on their financial freedom journey, when those people they're trying to help mean so much to you, regardless of if you really believe you're the best to serve them, you can feel like you're the best to serve them. And then also have this doubt in which, am I good enough to help them? Am I serving them the best that I possibly can? And that is a hard thing to overcome. I'm sharing all this stuff. I need to figure out how to overcome a lot of this stuff in this new lane. I was able to do it through real estate. And I think a lot of that was one of the things that Patrick highlighted was having this treasure chest. Having this treasure chest for all these good things that you're doing. Are you depositing into your treasure chest and then referencing, hey, why am I so hard on myself? Why am I talking down to myself? Why do I doubt myself? Why do I feel imposter syndrome when I've done this thing and then that thing and then that thing? So for example, for a lot of your real estate investors, I've spent time, money, and energy investing in myself. I have decided I'm going to buy in this market. I have decided that these are the criteria in which, like, why I'm buying here. I've decided I'm going to learn about management strategies and deal analysis. I'm going to analyze a bunch of deals. I'm going to do all these things. You're depositing in that treasure chest, but because you're comparing yourself to other people, sometimes you have a lot of doubt if you are making the progress that you want to or the progress that you should be making. And that was one of the tactical steps. Like, one of the best ways to bridge that gap is to have that treasure chest that you're referencing. Decision fatigue and analysis paralysis was another core concept. Chronic stress and anxiety. And I forgot what the fifth one was because I realized at that point I was typing so much that it was becoming annoying for everyone on the live stream, but I didn't realize that people could hear it. One of the biggest takeaways I want to say is the reason why I'm doing this video today is because I'm going to be doing videos every single day. Minimum, this is going to be one of my most consistent forms of content creation. For some people, they like to write, they like to post Twitter, threads, whatever. They're like writers or they write newsletters and blogs. Some people like short form content. I don't even know how you could like that, but some people love short form content like reels and all that kind of stuff. I guess because I'm not really a TikToker, so maybe that's where people get really comfortable with that. Some people do like carousel and text posts and all that. For me, I feel the most comfortable when I'm just talking. So what I want to do over the next indefinite period is every weekday, I'm going to try to come live for at least 15 minutes every single day and either train on a topic, teach about something specifically. What I'd love to do is give some previews to my super investor blueprint. I mean, I honestly believe in this thing because this is what has allowed me to succeed so efficiently in real estate investing. So I believe in it and I want to share that with you guys. I obviously can't cover everything in 15-minute increments, but I want to provide a lot of value to you guys, help you on your journey, and also just do some Q&A time. Like if you guys have any questions, I want to be able to answer these questions because a lot of people are texting me and messaging me and all that stuff, DMing me. And I appreciate you guys. I love the love that you provide me, but a lot of people are asking for a lot of my time. And it's very hard, especially when we're talking about like text-based responses. They take longer. I know my mentor Pace does a lot of voice responses because it's a little more efficient. I would love to be able to answer your guys' questions live and publicly so then other people can also benefit from the stuff that we are sharing. Because the thing I've learned is everyone's kind of going through the same shit, right? Like we are all going through the same thing. It's that like that analogy with like the kid in class who raises their hand. Usually most people are not comfortable to raise their hand, but the one that does, you've pretty much helped like the other 10, 20 people also with that same question, that same challenge. So that's why I love to do things like at a larger scale, not just give you an individual text reply. I would love to answer your questions publicly so more people can benefit from it. So I don't know for how long I'll be doing this, but every single day for at least 15 minutes a day, every single weekday, I'm going to move forward with doing these kinds of live calls. I'll either focus on a topic of my choice, a topic if you guys request one, be happy to. People know me as the guy who specializes in co-living, creative financing, and especially capital raising. I mean, and I don't say that lightly. Like I say that, and I appreciate the fact that people have put me in this position. And my job, as Pace told me, is to not only be a leader by showing people how I'm doing it and giving them permission to do it themselves, but actually like help people on their journey. This is going to be one of the best ways that I can do that. And in those three core pillars, how am I buying deals consistently, leveraging creative financing, especially buying deals from wholesalers? That a lot of that is mastering deal analysis. You want to be great at doing that. You have to be able to analyze what is a good deal, what is not a good deal. And if there's a okay deal, but you can make that a great deal by renegotiating it after analyzing, great. That's literally the cheat code. That's a superpower. That is one of the ways that I'm able to buy way more deals than most people because they just give up as soon as they see a deal that doesn't necessarily work, but it doesn't work that way. One of the superpowers is having this laser vision or x-ray vision, we'll say, that you can look through all the crap and find the actual diamond because you understand how the deal is structured and what can be negotiated, not just saying, I plugged this in a spreadsheet and it worked or not. I love that I have this amazing spreadsheet that tons of people use. However, I don't want you guys to be robots to the spreadsheet. I want you to critically think. That's how you take it to the next level. So consistently finding deals and analyzing them, raising money. You guys have quite literally seen me raise millions and millions of dollars publicly, in addition to millions and millions of dollars privately. For example, just in the start of this year, I've raised almost $3 million, $1.5 million of it very publicly. You guys saw it on fractional. I've raised $800,000 in 72 hours, another $450,000 in another 72 hours. And we were able to buy a portfolio of properties in Georgia, co-living rentals. It was around 25 rooms, and then around 30 in Texas for around 450-ish thousand. What did I do? I literally created and documented that process, provided it in step-by-step detail to super investors, but then also shared so much of the behind the scenes as well publicly, just to help everyone out as much as I can. Obviously, there's a little bit extra for my super investors. That's just how it works, right? Like they're paying to be in a smaller group, smaller setting, get even more advanced training. And I'm not saying it's the right fit for everyone, but if you are someone that is maybe stuck, you've done a deal or two, but you're not consistent, you don't know how to raise money. Maybe you've done traditional financing, but don't know how to do creative. Maybe you're buying deals that you're directly finding instead of leveraging wholesalers to buy these deals. Maybe you are using your own funds instead of leveraging other people's money. Like I could not have achieved $20+ million in real estate. I've had to deploy over $5 million into building my portfolio. Well, I didn't have $5 million. I was military then government. Where the hell would I have made that money from? I literally had to raise that money from other people, primarily investors and just other people that wanted either solid return on their money, they wanted to own these properties with me, or they wanted to learn as part of this process, or the combination of three. And I teach that very step by step and try to help other people out with that, both publicly and within the super investors community. So deals, money, and then co-living. I think that's because I own probably more co-living rentals than anyone in all of sub 2. And that's the main community that I'm part of. Well, I'll exclude Pace, right? Pace is a baller. I don't even know what he owns or doesn't at this point. But outside of that, I think I own the most co-living rentals in all of sub 2. And people have kind of seen me as the co-living guy. Awesome. Well, if I can provide value to help you guys out with that stuff, I want to help out with that as well. So just let me know what you guys need from me.